told myself I was going to sew today, and I've decided I'm going to crochet a bunny instead, because it's nothing like sticking to the plan. I am slowly working my way through all of the patterns that I have written, and I'm making them in 3 to 6 different yarns so we can compare the sizes. I've already made the one in acrylic yarn and in the little bunny yarn that I really love, and now I'm going to make one in, what colour is this? This is called Technicolor. It is the Premier Basics Chanel tie-dye. I am part of their collaboration program, so if you would like to buy their yarn using my link, that would be super cool. Not 100% sure sort of how it works. Should look into that. It's a very new thing to me, but let's make a bunny. There will be 4 different sizes of these. I'm planning 4 different yarns, which is the 4 different sizes, because there's not a yarn. Yeah, there's not a rainbow yarn in the Premier Parfait Chunky, or like similar, just doesn't seem to be a thing. So I'm trying to stick to similar yarns for all of them. So I think that'll just be the 4. I'm wondering about doing a grabbing some bloom. I definitely have some somewhere bloom like pink one. So maybe that'll be 5. We'll see what happens. But at the minute I only have this one to make and the micro. This is my pattern. It is, trying to count and talk. It is relatively low sew, like you will only need to sew the bottom leg, like back legs and the tail on, which is nice. Everything else gets crocheted in, and it is quite a good seller at my markets. I'm going to start off by making the ears, and then I'll make the front arms things, arms, paws, legs, whatever you want to call them, and then I will make the body and make the other bits to sew on. If you would like to get this pattern, you can buy it on my website, Storyland Supplies. It's on my supplies side of things because it's something you use to make something. Or it is Storyland Supplies on Ribbler, and I think it might be on my Etsy. I'd prefer you not to use the Etsy to buy things because the fees are kind of miserable. Like, I get it. It doesn't stop it being miserable. I have finished both of the ears, and I'm going to come back when I've crocheted a little bit more of it so I can show you it more towards the actual finished state, and then we'll start on the micro crochet one. I've finished all of, well, before that I was planning on making. So this is the plush, like super bulky sized bunny. I used a 6mm crochet hook, parfait, let me find it, the Premier Basics Chanel tie-dye yarn in Technicolor. I wouldn't normally use a 6mm crochet hook, but I did, and I realised like partway through that I would normally use a 5mm with this yarn. It's worked out absolutely fine with the 6mm. I used, I think that, yeah, I used 14mm glittery bright pink safety eyes, and this is the bunny it has produced. The next size down is quite a jump in size because I haven't made this in any parfait chunky yarns because they don't have a fun rainbow colour, and I wanted to do these all in rainbows. So this is their little bunny yarn. I'm not sure what the colour is, but you can probably work it out by going on like the options. It's fairly obvious. I love this yarn. I think it's really cool. I wasn't sure what to make with it, and I think either this or a bunny would be really cool options. I used a 4mm crochet hook, and I used the same 14mm safety eyes. So there's some fluff under there, so I will be, I guess, grabbing a little needle and removing, oh no, this is working. I've never noticed that before. I don't think that normally happens. There's some fluff between the like clear bit of the eye and the glittery part, or just the one eye. This will be available at Chaos Collective only because that's where I usually stock my fluffy plushies, so if you would like to buy that one, that's kind of where you've got to head over unless you message me and I can make you one specifically. This is the size difference. It's about 2/3 of the size of the big one. The fourth bunny is using the Basics, I don't know what it's called, but it's worsted weight yarn, and I'm pretty sure it's acrylic. It is very cute. I used a 3.5mm crochet hook with this. I usually would use either 3.5 or 4. A lot of people recommend 4, but I do think 3.5 works a little bit better. It gets a slightly tighter crochet outcome. And then we have the size difference. I feel like it's progressively going down in size quite reasonably right now. And then, oh, I also used 10mm safety eyes for this one, which is usually what I'll use for any acrylic ones I make. I don't make these a whole lot because I don't find them as popular at markets, but sometimes someone does want this type of yarn because they don't like the plush type of yarns, which is completely fair enough. And then the last one is the micro bunny, and to be honest, this didn't take me as long as I thought it would take. I think it took around 2.5 hours. This is my little micro bunny. The ears are like kind of twisting a little bit, so I do probably need to block them, which is not something you ever have to really do with like any of the others. This was using yarn from Amazon. I cannot remember what it is, but what brand it is, but if you search for like rainbow crochet thread, this should come up. I believe it is weight 3. Is it weight 10? I always forget which way round it is. It's definitely the smaller one, whatever the smaller size is. And I don't think they did it in weight 10 or the bigger size, if that's the way around it is. That makes sense. But next time I would get the slightly bigger one, I think. Not sure. Like a lot of my other yarns are the slightly bigger size, so, and it's not really noticeable when you use the two together, but it just would probably be easier to keep it consistent. This is the size comparison. Let me know out of all of them what your favourite one is out of the 4. My favourite's either the fluffy one or the micro one. Yeah, this one is definitely my favourite, or this one, but I imagine this one will sell first when I take it to market. I've made this in a few of the different rainbow or like tie-dye yarns they do because it seems to just be most popular in a fun yarn. Also, it's Easter coming up, so maybe bunnies will be more popular. If you would like to buy this pattern, it's on, like I said earlier, it's on my website and my Etsy, I believe. Yeah, it is, and my Ribbler. The best place probably to buy it is Ribbler on my website, in terms of me not getting as high fees. But anywhere you feel like really would be amazing. Got the tiny little buddy. The only bits you sew on are the tail and the 2 bottom feet. The rest you crochet in. So it takes longer because the ears are quite big than compared to, like, I don't know, one of my other patterns. But then once you're not having to sew everything in because you crochet the ears in it, I feel like it does knock quite a bit of time off and just makes life a little bit easier. Oh, and I used a 0.9 millimeter crochet hook for the micro bunny, which is usually what I will use for all of my micros because this hook just is my favorite. It is from Clover, I believe, and is way nicer than the one I originally started making macros with. Thank you for watching. Please do let me know which one is your favorite out of the 4, and whether, if you would make one, what color would you make the bunny?